might. Go. It's a 99% chance that the fire was started deliberately. Clear traces of what seems to be white spirit was used as an accelerant.
Right, so we definitely got a crime. All we need now is a motive.
Well, I think I might have help there, Gus. Just contacted the British Transport Police and they ran a check on the address. Now, this lock-up is connected to a garden centre in Epping Walk. The owner is...
Ariant Kazir.
Yeah, how do you know that?
Our witness is his father-in-law. He sold Ariant the business a few months back.
Well, does Mr Akhtar know that his son-in-law stands to make £50,000 from the fire that almost killed him this morning? Because Ariant Kazir topped up this insurance policy less than 2 weeks ago.
Well, that'll be for the garden centre, not the lock-up.
No, according to the insurers I spoke to earlier.
What does he keep in a lock-up worth £50,000?
Whatever it is, it's more than a few pallets of garden fertiliser.
OK, you and Kezia do a background check on Ariant. Let's go and see what he's got to say for himself.
An accident? Is he alright?
He's fine. They've just taken him to St Hugh's for some routine checks.
What happened?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Traffic were first on the scene and they took his statement.
And?
There are some discrepancies between Jack's version of events and what traffic have been able to prove.
Discrepancies?
Yeah, Jack reported that a man ran out in front of his car, causing him to swerve.
Not just any man, is it? A man dressed in full military uniform or possible CO-19 kit. What?
You're beginning to see the problem. There are no witnesses who saw anything of the kind in the area.
CCTV?
Not that we saw. But I have got Dan Casper down there searching for stuff in the surrounding area.
Hang on, what are we saying here? That Jack lied? Why would he do that?
Traffic are saying the most likely cause of the collision is fatigue or possibly lack of concentration. Now, we all know Jack's been pushing himself very hard the last few weeks.
He was breathalyzed at the scene and he was under the limit, but he did have alcohol in his system. Basically, they think he fell asleep at the wheel.
So what are we looking at here? Driving without due care and attention? Do traffic think we've got enough for prosecution?
Yeah, they do. Now, we all know how it works. It could start out as a simple prosecution where the most Jack stands to lose is a few points on his licence and a small fine. But if the judge believes that Jack lied and made up this uniformed man in order to cover for his own mistake, it'll cost him his job. Now, you need to find out what's going on here, Mickey. If this man exists, find him.
Yeah, well, like I said to traffic, I was driving along 30 miles an hour and this nutter ran out in front of me.
What, wearing full military uniform and covering headgear?
Yeah, like I said, he was a nutter. He opened the door, looked at the warrant card and then legged it. Then some people turned up and called it in. End of story. Hang on a minute. What's going on?
Peyton called me down here, Gov. It's funny, but there's no trace of this fella whatsoever. There's no witnesses, there's no CCTV.
Well, traffic's saying that I lied in my statement.
The super's put them off for a bit. I just think we need to get it sorted, that's all.
Yeah, well, I didn't lie.
Well, then I'll find him.
Correction, we'll both find him.
Gov, you've just been in an accident.
Well, it's my career on the line here. I'm not just going to sit back.
I'll sort it. You look like hell. You know what it's like. Sometimes you just got to let these things go.
Well, not this time. I'm busy. Are you coming?
Where?
See if we can find this imaginary G.I. Joe.
Mr. Kezia! I thought Rashid said it'd be here by now.
Well, that's what he said.
This place should be open. Or isn't morning a good plant buying time?
Should have opened an hour and a half ago according to this.
Well, maybe we'll try it on.
I think I'll have a look round back.
Okay.
Over here! Go! Oh, he's alive. Head injury. Looks like he's had a good kicking.
Sierra Oscar from D.I. Manson.
Go ahead.
Urgent ambulance required at the Epping Walk Garden Centre. We got a male with severe head trauma.
Received.
Ariant Kazir.
What's going on here?
I wish I knew. One thing's for sure. Mr. Kazir has definitely got enemies.
This thing missed my head by about half an inch. I was sitting there.
Governor, I understand, but there was no sightings of anyone in a uniform.
Yeah, there was one, mine. So I'm driving down here, right? He runs out. I swerve to avoid him. I smash into that thing. He looks in the passenger seat here.
Do you know where he went after that?
I think he ran down there. Must have been quick, though, to avoid all the curtain twitchers.
Governor! An army dog tag.
G.I. Joe's real name, Craig Waterman. That's his army number. Right, let's go back to Sun Hill, check it out.
Oh, I just love this part of the job. Hi, Mrs. Kazir. Your father was nearly killed in a suspected arson this morning, right before your husband was half beaten to death.
Well, it could be worse. Well, I looked up Arrowhead on the net this morning. It means one who has killed his enemies, which is kind of ironic, given the circumstances.
Yeah, hilarious.
It's Indian in origin, apparently.
I thought Mr. Kazir was West African. Oh, and Muslim.
Well, maybe his parents just thought it sounded cool.
Mrs. Kazir!
Miss Kazir, DS Turner, DC Walker, Sunhill CID. You mind if we come in?
So, is this about the fire?
What, you already heard about that?
Yes, I came and told my daughter. Is there any news? Have you found out what happened?
And we're still working on it, Mr. Actor.
If it's my husband you're looking for, he's at work. I'm afraid we're here about Arrowhead. He was attacked this morning at the garden centre. He's in a stable condition in St. Hugh's Hospital. I can take you to him if you like. I'll just get my things.
Miss Kazir, you got any idea why someone might attack your husband?
Wasn't it just robbery?
Well, we don't know what the motive is yet, but... Mr. Actor, everything alright? Because we heard raised voices before.
Oh, Sammy. She got upset that I almost got myself killed this morning. She says I'm reckless.
Daughters. And look, that's not a bootleg copy of The Lion King, is it?
I don't know. I don't speak Arabic.
But Arrowhead does.
Part of his conversion, Arrowhead was not a born Muslim. He converted. He is a Wahhabi now. And they have strict rules about reading the Quran in its original language.
Okay, Mrs. Kazir.
I'm sorry, detective, but there's really nothing more I can tell you. One minute I arrived at the garden center. The next thing I remember is waking up here.
Well, your wallet wasn't taken, and the morning float was still in the till, which would suggest that the motive wasn't robbery, but personal.
If there is somebody with a grudge towards me, it is without my knowledge.
Well, what about your business? Mr. Kazir, you know your lockup was burnt down earlier this morning.
What happened?
Someone broke in, set fire to it.
2 of our officers and your father-in-law were lucky to have not been inside when the explosion took place.
Explosion? Is everyone okay?
Yeah, everyone's fine, but it was close. Look, do you think there might be a link between the fire and you being beaten up?
No, I can't imagine.
Where were you this morning between 6 and 7 a.m?
At mosque, for morning prayer, like always. Why?
Just routine questions. You took out a new insurance premium on the lockup a couple of weeks ago?
Ah, here it comes. You think this was deliberate? By big insurance payout?
What do you keep in a lockup worth £50,000 insurance?
Ari! Ari! Are you alright?
I'm fine. Calm yourself.